Alright, so this is what I've gotten done. Spent some time on it yesterday. Back out here again to kind of finish it up. This is a spray booth, like I talked about before, for spray finishing anything that will sit inside of that box, basically. It's a 3 feet by 2.5, I forgot what it was, 30 inches maybe. Anyhow, I trimmed it with oak, because otherwise you'd be looking at the end grain of the plywood. So trimmed it in oak, used these dowels to attach them, because there was no way to clamp these pieces on, and that the thing is already attached to the wall, basically. So anyway, trimmed it out, and of course this board down here is very wide because the base of this is 2x6, so I wanted to go at least as wide as that or slightly over it, so I'd cover that as well. But again, use the dowels or little pins. It's a step drill bit, and then you have these wooden dowels that you drive in there with some glue. So, and I chamfered the edge, so it's kind of a nicer finished look. Chamfered the edge with the sander on these pieces here. But anyway, it turned out pretty good. I mean, there's I didn't have perfection getting these to seal up against the edge grain because I couldn't clamp it, but it's good enough. So anyhow, so what I was going to show you are these wooden dowels that I use. These are the smaller ones right here, and these are the larger ones. I've got some walnut ones as well. So Miller dowels, I've used them for years, but basically you've got this stepped drill bit, if I can get this thing open with one hand, and there's the drill bit. So if you notice, it's smaller on the end. Focus on that. Smaller at the end than it is as it goes up. I don't know if you can see that or not. I actually ruined the tip of this one because I ran into a screw, so it kind of toasted that. But anyway, the same thing on this smaller set, and they vary depending on the kind of wood that you're securing. These smaller ones are good for cabinet grade plywood and so forth. The larger ones, if you're doing some other type of like 2x4 connection stuff, thicker wood. Anyway, so yeah, that's the step drill bit, and you can see the dowel rods themselves are stepped. Anyhow, so what I'm going to do now is I decided to go ahead and put a couple or 3 coats of this satin high performance. It's a water-based urethane on there. Number one, most importantly, it'll protect it from any kind of dirt and scuffing or anything like that, and it'll also bring out the grain a little bit and these pins, which will look a little bit nicer. The other thing I did yesterday too that took some time is that I sprayed a few coats of acrylic lacquer. Once I cleaned the exterior of this lathe, I actually removed some of the paint in the process with the denatured alcohol I used. So I knew there was no protective coating. I wanted to go ahead and hit that. You can see it's got kind of a nice little sheen to it too. So, and I did the same for the headstock. So it's, if you can see this, you can actually get a little bit of it was a gloss, so it not only will be protective, but it looks nice. So yeah, so back on this, I'm going to go ahead and hit it with the 2 or 3 coats of that finish, and then I'm going to move on over to here. And I don't know if I want to coat the top of this or not. This is basically like an extension of that bench over there. That's obviously a wood planing bench, but I don't know. I'm torn on that, so maybe you can give me some input, your thoughts on it. I got a bunch of stuff laying here obviously right now, but anyhow, I might. Depends on how I guess this looks, but we'll see. All right, here we go. All right, so this is the update. What I did yesterday is I trimmed. Let me turn this down a little bit. So I trimmed this out yesterday with red oak, and I think I might have already went over all that. But what I did today is I sanded it nice and smooth with 100 grit to get those dowel rods down smooth and flush, and then went over it with 220, and then I put 3 coats of the satin high performance by General Finishes. So turned out pretty good. It's got a nice little sheen to it. So, and you know, of course it darkened it slightly, but not too much because it's a clear. But it does bring out those dowels, if you can see that. So tomorrow, after this is cured fully, because I put 3 coats on it, I'm going to mount this paint gun holder to it. Paint gun is held here, filter is there, and it, you know, you're adding your material to it. So this is my pressure pot gun, my favorite. It's the Italian Asturo. They don't even make it anymore, but that's the first professional paint gun I ever bought, and I love it. But this is another one that I used for primer and stuff on the truck. It's got its advantages too, but I have, you know, 2 good quality guns to work with. In any case, so that's the spray booth. I was gonna do this bottom section, but because I didn't set the shelves out here to the edge, I guess I could move them. It's not that big of a deal, but I don't know. I may or may not do these shelves. It's not the critical thing. That I didn't really need to do any of it. I guess I just did it because I like the way it looks, and I'm able to do it, so why not? Over here, so tomorrow probably work on this. Initially I just trimmed out the bench top after I built it and stuff, and trimmed it out. But I got to thinking about it. I thought, you know, it'd look even nicer if I just trimmed out those shelves, that one there and the bottom one. So I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow. See, what else did I do today? Cleaned my table saw table, sanded it with some 400 grit and some lubricant, and then steel wooled it, and then waxed it. So it's as slick as a baby's butt now, and I like the shaper table. And let's see, what else did I do? I added this elbow here on the planer. This thing puts out a lot of chips, man, so this, you definitely want dust collection here. But problem that I always had before is that when you collect the dust collection here, the hose kind of gets in the way of what's coming out that end. So I just got this elbow and turned it up, and so the hose will be coming in from this angle here, out of the way, which is over here, and it's an expandable hose, so it'll reach clear over there to the joiner over there, actually. So got that all set up and everything. Got my floor tools there, bench tool. So yeah, little by little, making more and more progress each day, and just a lot of little things still to do, but I'm in no hurry. I really got all the time in the world. It's not a big deal. So anyway, just wanted to let you see that, and catch you next time. I had to add this in. It's beer time, and this is a Mosaic IPA that I brewed, and it's pretty much cleared now. I add the silifine. It's a what do they call it? It's a fining agent that's used to make the draw all the proteins and stuff down to the bottom and create a clear beer. And it's pretty much there now. Anyway, very, very tasty, and cheers.